What is going on, my fast friends? Welcome to the Moto-R channel. Today we are in the Moto-R garage and it's a little bit cold outside, so what better way to spend a Sunday morning than to do some modifications to the Aprilia RS660. So as you know, I am a great fan of the ASV levers. You know, they're aluminum alloy. They got this really cool colored spin wheel to adjust your brake and your clutch. I've always been a fan of it. I had it on my 2009 R6 and I have it on my 2018 Kawasaki Z900. I love the fact that, you know, it goes both ways. So if you ever do get into an accident, the chances of it breaking or bending this way. Usually when you get into an accident, your levers will bend this way because it's usually fixed. But with this, it kind of helps the chances of it getting completely damaged. And I've always thought of ASV being a very quality brand. I've had this for several years, and usually how you can tell something's a little bit more quality than the other is that their logo doesn't just brush off of the actual product. Yeah, I just think they're really made well. Really matches well with the Kawasaki theme. So I decided to go ahead and get a new lever for the RS660. The only tools that you're really gonna need is a 10mm wrench socket, 10mm socket, and a 4mm Allen key. You also can use a crescent wrench if you want to, but I have my wrench right over here. And from what I read, from what I've seen, it's going to be a pretty simple fix, a pretty simple installation. All right, so here is the actual ASV levers that I got in from ASV, and they are the F3 series. Pretty simple packaging. States that it's forged aluminum alloy, unbreakable pivot design, adjustable lever wrench, and then it's got the bearings on the pivot, which is those little wheels. I got this in red, obviously, because the RS660 has red wheels. Again, you know, it bends back a little bit. So that's going to be the clutch lever. I got this in matte black. So it is a little bit different than the one on the Z900. Another one, this is gonna be for the brakes, the brake lever. And then it also comes with a little push shaft or something that it's basically a shaft that goes into your master cylinder that you're gonna have to replace. So it's only 3 parts. That's only 3 parts that you're gonna need. So make sure that it comes with this, because every company has a different type of shaft for the RS660's master cylinder. Every company has a different way they're inserted, and just looking at this, I'm guessing that's for the clutch. I'm guessing that it pushes up right into this divot. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the brakes first. What you want to do is right on the bottom, there's 2 parts, right? This is a 4mm little divot right over here, and then right below it is a 10mm. So what you're going to want to do is you can use a crescent wrench, and you're going to need 2 hands. Make sure you get the 10mm that's right below here. That way you have it secured. And then you're going to spin this, and you can just use your hands to do it. But remember, the bolt on the bottom, the 10mm little bolt, is gonna come up first. So there you go. Bolt is off. That is the bolt that goes below that little cylindrical pin, and then you're just gonna wanna slowly pull this off. So you can use pliers. Let me put that down right there. You can use pliers, or you can just slowly pull it off like this, and then use your hands and wiggle it off, and there you go. So you're gonna keep that because that is gonna be used on the reinstallation of the new ASV levers. So as you pull these off, right? As you pull this off, you see that little pin right here. It's got a little bit of grease on it. That goes along with the actual lever. And if I can get it right here, that little area right here is where it goes in. So it's supposed, when you install it, this little thing is supposed to screw back into the master cylinder. Now, we're not gonna use this again because obviously it's attached to this lever. So what you're gonna wanna do is we are gonna replace it with this shaft right here that ASV has already given us. So before we start putting in the lever, we're gonna definitely want to get this in here, and this is probably like the hardest part, right? I've seen some people use other types of tools to like get it to open. All right, so that definitely was one of the harder things to do on this bike, as far as trying to get this little shaft in to this grommet, because the hole is pretty tiny. So you have to use another tool to kind of open it up a little bit, insert it in there, screw it in, and it's in there. What you're gonna wanna do next is basically the opposite of how we did to like take this off. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna insert this right here, and then take your piece right here and try to line it up. Push it down. Try to screw it back in. A lot of this, like, I haven't had to use a wrench yet, you know, besides that crescent wrench. You're gonna take your bolt, because you wanna secure it on the bottom, and then you wanna tighten it, and there you go. So this is where you can kind of adjust it if you want to get closer, if you want it to get a little bit looser or a little further out. I got short hands, so I try to bring mine in a little bit closer, and that should work. Man, that does look a lot better. Look at that. And now we'll move on to the clutch. All right, so we're on the clutch side now. Again, the difference between the stock and the ASV shorties. Now, when you go to ASV and you decide you want to get these levers, make sure if you want the shorties, you can get the shorties. Make sure you put that down, because there's a little drop down box that will ask you if you want the standard size or the shorties. I always opt for the shorties because that's just my style. So what you're gonna want to do here is you're gonna also again find the 10mm bolt right up here and loosen it. All right, so once I got it a little bit loose, I'm able to just twist the top off and unscrew that part from the bottom bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside so we don't lose it. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull this out. Now when you pull this out and spin it, you are gonna see the clutch cable. So what you wanna do is slowly finagle. It looks like it's got a little bit of grease there. But what you're gonna wanna do is slowly finagle it till you get this little wire right here, and then let it pop off. And then it's gonna stay right there. Sometimes these things are a little bit tight. So in order to grab the clutch cable, you might want a set of pliers so you can pull it out. And what you're gonna wanna do is you need to set it onto this, into the ASV levers. So enter it into this little area right here. Again, it can be really tricky and really greasy, so just be aware when you hold on to it tight. So there you go. And then you're spinning it around and setting it up again right where it needs to be. Push it in and bolt it up. All right, so I need to make another statement. Is you don't want to tighten this too much because it still needs to spin. That's why they have the little nub right over there, because if you tighten that too much, the lever is not going to be able to actually press. You can adjust the clutch cable a little bit as much as you want, but there you go. I adjusted it just a little bit closer. See the feel of it, and that is how the new ASV levers look. I'm so excited for it. I want to jump on the bike and I want to test it out. So let's do it. All right, guys. So that definitely took a whole lot of adjusting. I don't even know if I got it all correct, but the levers are working a lot better now. I think I adjusted my clutch cable a little too tight, and therefore I was like dying out constantly, you know, in first gear. I guess the clutch release was coming off a little too fast, and yeah, I just had to adjust it just a little bit to kind of help out with that. And same with my brakes. Like I want a little bit of a leeway with my brakes, so we'll see if that helps. But the black mat is looking really good on the bike. So as far as looks go, I approve. I definitely got to get used to figure out which is the best position that I want to put these brake levers in. And even the clutch is kind of letting go a little bit too soon, so I'm going to adjust it a little bit more. But right now it's working well. Oftentimes I really don't even use the clutch because I got a quick shifter. But as of right now, how it's working good. So the clutch, I gotta get used to it being shorties as well, because with the stock ones I had a lot of places to place my fingers, and just with these ones I just gotta do a little bit you know, moving around. So brakes are a little bit easier to engage. And yep, I mean, everything seems to be working fine. Alright guys, well, that's the video. I hope you guys like it. I hope it helped you out when you're installing your brake and clutch lever if you get the ASV version. My impression on it is it looks great, it feels great. Once you get the adjusting a little bit on the right, you know, you don't mess with the cables too much. It just feels a little bit different the first time you ride on it, but it's something that you're gonna get used to, just like with every other type of mod. If y'all like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions about this install or about the ASV levers themselves, make sure you comment down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.